What's the most popular Minecraft minigame of all time? If you're a newer player, you probably think Bed Wars or Sky Wars, right? But what if I told you that years ago, near the start of Minecraft's popularity, there was a minigame miles more popular than this? It was called Hunger Games, and man was it fun, and it was so big as well. But where did it go? Will it ever come back? Well, I certainly think so, but why? First, let's talk about how this minigame became so hugely popular anyway. Let's go back. The time's March in 2012, and the third biggest film of the year just came out, which led to be one of the most iconic film and book series, Hunger Games. The film was super popular, and a month later, in April, a Minecraft adaptation was already made. A YouTuber called Varied saw the film and instantly thought that it was perfect to be recreated as a Minecraft format. So they assembled a build team, and Team Varied, as they were called, built it in literally a few days. And so, the very first Hunger Games in Minecraft was made. Now, you've got to bear in mind, July 2012, 3 months later than this map being released, command blocks were only just announced on Twitter. So this map in functionality was super bare bones, like redstone and pistons to get people out of cages bare bones, and asking people not to break blocks rather than preventing them from doing so. It was uploaded onto YouTube, and it was already super popular, but on the 17th of April, the start of the Minecraft Hunger Games craze began. A bunch of Minecraft's biggest channels at the time all uploaded the same video of playing in this Minecraft Hunger Games. It was an event hosted by iHasCupquake, who you might remember, in collaboration with Machinima, featuring some of the biggest creators like Captain Sparkles, Ant Venom, Pro Syndicate, which actually led to a final fight between Captain Sparkles and Ant Venom. It was super popular. The Captain's video on this has 11 million views today, and Ant Venom's has 5.3 million. The rules were simple: loot chests to get geared up, and the last person standing wins. After that, an insane amount of videos came out on this map as they saw the popularity, and the game mode was already super popular. The people loved it, creators and viewers alike. Around this time was also the development of Minecraft servers, and seeing this Minecraft minigame getting so popular, it saw a few survival game servers spawn in, such as, most notable at the time, MCSG, a Minecraft server which just had this one survival games map at the time, and a bunch of YouTube videos were made on this. And as more maps were then made by Team Varied, more were onto MCSG. The way this server works actually pretty funny. It's not like how it is today. The way you connected to these games, the technology to use one IP to play on multiple different servers just wasn't a thing. So you had to go on a website, find games on there, and then type in the IP to connect directly to the game. It's probably the reason why that direct connect button exists on the multiplayer menu. Despite it being kind of finicky to get into these games, the server grew more and more staff joined the team. Speaking of the staff team of MCSG, I'm going to throw a few names at you, and you're going to need to remember these for the next part. Chad was the owner of MCSG. Varied, the original creator of the Hunger Games maps, and also served as a promotion to the server as he made YouTube videos on it. And Clankstar, a developer for the server. Now, the next development for survival games wasn't actually to do with survival games. Clankstar, the dev, had an idea for a new game mode called Trouble in Mineville, which, if you played Minecraft years ago, you likely remember, or at least heard of. It's a Minecraft recreation of the Gmod game Trouble in Terrorist Town, which, for you guys that don't know, it's essentially Among Us, way before Among Us was even a thing. Varied also loved this idea and wanted to work on it with him, and they wanted this game to be featured on MCSG, but it wasn't received well by the team. Most likely, probably because MCSG was a survival game server. Oh yeah, the game mode's now called Survival Games because Hunger Games is probably copyright. But they probably just didn't think on a survival game server, a new random game mode just didn't fit it. So what did Varied and Clankstar do? Well, they went off to make their own server. Varied once again making the maps and promoting the server, whilst Clankstar did the dev stuff again. And this game mode grew to be super successful. MCSG, they were probably a little bit regretful, but they remained firm and didn't add it to the server. Now in 2012, Clankstar and Varied both went together to Minecon.
Do you even lift, brah?
No, YOLO.
Which I know this seems completely going off topic, but they actually met some more minigame creators, specifically from the minigame The Herobrine, which was also super popular, and they became friends. Later in 2013, software called Bungee Cord was released. Basically, this allowed multiple IPs on one general IP, so it would just redirect you to the game mode. Basically meaning you can now have a hub and multiple game modes on one server. And Trouble in Mineville and The Herobrine, they merged together, and they made a server which you've probably heard of, The Hive. This server launched with 3 minigames: The Herobrine, Trouble in Mineville, and Varied's original minigame, Survival Games. Varied then went to Chad, MCSG's owner, and asked if he could buy the server from him to merge it in. But Chad didn't want to, so Varied essentially said, okay, we're rivals. And they got into competition. There was a bunch of petty stuff like MCSG banning The Hive from being said in chat, banning Team Varied members from its community TeamSpeak servers, banning Clankstar from MCSG. It was crazy, but eventually it all fizzled out to The Hive seeming to be on top. I mean, to be fair, it was Varied's original game mode anyway. And YouTubers then started making videos on the Hive, starting to develop it into the server that it became. And survival games was super popular on there too, and this was the real beginning of survival games popularity. One of the very first Battle Royale video games, and honestly, I don't think it's that far of a stretch to say without these two servers kicking off survival games, games like Fortnite, PUBG, Warzone, Apex Legends simply wouldn't exist. Anyway, back to Minecraft. The reason why people like these game modes so much on these two servers was the simplicity of the survival games. It was pure vanilla Minecraft, and all you had to know about the game to play it was loot items from chests and be the last standing. Now, whilst this simplicity was good, that simplicity can quickly turn to just becoming stale. Many MCSG and the Hive survival games players describe the game as exactly the same after years, which sounds alright, but with the only change being a few new maps every once in a while, it became a bit stale. I guess if it's not broke, don't try and fix it, but things did get boring after years of playing this exact same game, with no change or any variety at all. There were the exact same loot pools, chests were in predetermined locations, which eventually led to people learning the optimal looting routes to each chest and made the game super linear with no interruptions really. This also meant that new players coming into the server had too much of an uphill battle, making them just not want to play it. Meaning no new players really came in, and the good players ended up not wanting to play it because it was too easy at that point. It was too much of the same thing every time. And other servers saw this weakness, so stepped in servers that wanted to change this and boost this already widely popular game mode, Hypixel and Mineplex. You probably know both of these server names, and both these servers would eventually go to overtake the previous two servers, adding stuff like new custom built maps, but also extra stuff like random chest spawns, wider loot pools, more chests to increase your chances of getting items to keep you alive, and another common complaint of legacy survival game servers, the relatively common occurrence of someone just getting lucky and getting loot before you and killing you off spawn. On top of this, the two new big survival game servers added another feature to prevent people being undergeared that I felt like led to the true downfall of survival games. I mean, there was nothing worse in survival games than having no loot mid-game and being undergeared compared to everyone. And due to this RNG, to fix this, the servers added kits. After a set amount of time has elapsed, you received your chosen kit, being stuff like armor, weapons, pets, potions, whatever you really fancy. Now on the surface level, this seems alright. Everyone can choose what kit they want, and it's not really unfair because anyone can choose the same kit for free. That's thanks to Minecraft's EULA, basically meaning that Minecraft servers legally can't be pay to win. You can't just buy the best kits with real life money. But when you can't have pay to win, there comes play to win. Kits would cost server currency that you got by playing games, and obviously the best and most overpowered kits would cost the most in-game coins and require you spending hundreds of hours or getting them faster by buying ranks or coin bonuses. Kind of a little loophole in the Minecraft EULA, as technically they're not selling Minecraft content and players can do without it. And even on top of the different kits, Hypixel Blitz survival games, each kit had additional levels where you could get better gear on top of each level, making it one more level more ridiculous. And I don't think I even need to say it. Only the people with the best leveled up kits won, and making it impossible for anyone to get into the game mode anymore, even if you are a really good player. The decline of the playership also led to this game getting less priority. Updates stopped, moderation declined, which led to an increase of cheaters on top of everything, and the game modes were essentially left behind and untouched. Today, you can literally get an item called the 1 pound fish, a reference to a meme from late 2012. And on top of this, each server had its own issues for a reason of their declines. Mineplex had it worse. It had a lot of inconsistent lag, and they split up their staff team, half focused on Java, half focused on Bedrock, meaning bugs and updates that were rarely even coming became a lot more uncommon. Nowadays, you're lucky if you get enough players to actually run this game. It has a minimum of 16 players to load a game, and there are hardly enough people even wanting to queue it to fill it out. Hypixel's version had a few less issues, meaning you can still queue a game of Blitz survival games with relative ease, but not many people are queuing it regardless. All games are likely going to be the same people. On Hypixel, the main issue was the kit upgrades that I mentioned earlier. With Hypixel having so many minigames and the playership decreasing, the game never saw an update again. And that takes us to today. Minecraft's most popular minigame of all time now struggles to get any players on any minigame server, leaving servers that prioritize survival games to just shutting down. MCSG closed down, then relaunched under a new name called MC Gamer, and it shut down a few months later. The Hive focused on Bedrock, and it led to the point where they just had to shut down the Java server. And a multitude of other dedicated survival game servers just shut down. The game mode just doesn't get any players anymore, and honestly, it's sad. But I think times are changing, and we could likely see a return of this super fun and iconic game mode. If you saw my last video, it kind of links to that, where if you didn't see it, I basically explained why I think 1.8 Minecraft is about to fall, and 1.9 content is about to take over and become the main PvP version. All the big Minecraft survival game servers were running 1.8 combat, and any that run 1.9 Minecraft on survival games was instantly unpopular, as 1.9 on release was really hated in the Minecraft community. Now, with 1.9 starting to rise, and 1.9 servers being in the limelight, I think this game mode stands a chance of coming back. And that's with the help of two servers, the same ones I mentioned in my last video, MCC Island and Tubnet. MCC Island, if you don't know, is a server based off the super popular invite-only creator competition, MCC, where a bunch of the top Minecraft streamers battle it out with their teams of 4 to win the event, playing across 8 minigames, and one of the more popular ones is survival games. These maps and the rendition of survival games is created by Nox Crew, who are a Minecraft map creator team who are behind some of the most iconic maps, such as Terra Swoop Force, Grid Runners, and even working with Minecraft Marketplace to make maps for Batman and Frozen. An incredible team that know all about designing the perfect map really is one of the best teams you could hope to revive this minigame. MCC Island is planned to have every single MCC minigame in the MCC Island server, meaning survival games eventually will be added. And with how PvP-centric the MCC Island community already is, I think it's going to be an instant success. Honestly, I see this minigame becoming the #1 game mode on the server. This server's already averaging around 1,500 concurrent players as a server that's in closed beta that's really hard to get into. Once this is fully public, this game mode is going to do crazy numbers. And that brings us on to Tubnet. And Tubnet, for you guys that don't know, is a minigame server founded by the Minecraft streamer Tubbo that's based on the latest version of Minecraft. The main thing that I find so cool about this server is how well they've done unique reworks of some of Minecraft's most popular minigames. And the server's filled with a lot of custom models without having a drastic impact on your performance. And a lot of super cool custom items. And as I'm recording this today, Tubnet has released their survival games adaptation called Battle Royale. Before the launch, they hosted a few private events for creators, and the one that happened today, midway through the event, they released it publicly on the server. For now, the game mode only has one map, but oh my goodness is it well built. With some cool custom items such as instant drinking potions, grapple orbs, cloud totems that repress your full damage and save you from the void. And for the first time that I've seen in survival games, it incorporates building, with a maximum of 64 wool that you can find from chests, as well as bridge orbs. The game mode has some modern items such as crossbows in the loot pool, as well as some not commonly used loot pools for survival games, but are popular in other PvP formats, such as cobwebs and ender pearls. Full honesty here, playing in this event and playing on the Minecraft server afterwards is genuinely some of the most fun I've had in Minecraft minigames. It's just so unique and it feels super fresh. Because of these two growing servers and their two new minigames, it's not just going to see the return of old players who played it when they were younger, it's also going to see some new players trying out that get to feel the same joy that we felt with this same minigame many years ago. Minecraft survival games, the most iconic minigame in Minecraft history, is finally going to come back. Thanks for watching. If you're here at the end, thank you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to subscribe. Only 15% of you guys are actually subscribed, so if you do enjoy these videos, please consider subscribing. These videos genuinely take me like 40 hours to make, so I would super appreciate it. Anyway, that's it from me. I'll see you guys later.